Love Civ 4. I felt like playing it, so that's what we did. We did start last week, and the videos so far have not gone on YouTube. You haven't missed that much, okay? It's still early in the game. We've expanded a little bit. We just plopped down, like, at the end of the last turn, basically 2 extra little cities over here. Still really early in the game. We haven't gone to war or anything yet, but war is coming because we are Buddhists. And to our south, we've got Buddhist Incans down here, so we're going to be buddy-buddy. That's awesome. But we have Jewish Spain and Jewish Germany next door. Actually, Germany is most likely going to become Confucianism because they founded Confucianism as a religion. So that's going to lead to a lot of tension. And so that's okay. As long as, we can win the war, things are going to be good. The one thing is right now, and we know this because of our spying, right now our army is considerably weaker than our neighbors. So we really do have to prioritize building up an army. And that is slightly conflicting with the idea that it would be really cool. We have built the pyramids. We have built the Great Lighthouse. It would be really cool to also build the Great Library for sort of completing the trifecta of Egyptian wonders and really setting the theme quite well. I need to turn on the sound from Civ 4. There we go. No music in Civ 4 because it does get flagged on YouTube, which is one of the reasons things have been delayed. I'm having to make some adjustments to last week's videos here. So I have gone and muted the music over here. Literature gets us the Great Library, which actually would work out really well with our specialist economy, which is a thing that we're doing. But we do need to build an army, a defensive army, if nothing else, and potentially we'd want to go and be aggressive with it as well. I don't remember. Do we have all the tech that we need for, like, catapults and stuff? No, we need construction for that. So without catapults, we're not really going to be able to be aggressive. Because of the way that defenses for cities work in Civ 4, you really, really need siege equipment. It's basically not optional, unless you do like a really sneaky early game ninja move before anyone is established. You need multiple catapults. Probably we'd want to go for maybe at least 3. At least 3, I'd say, for this. I'd probably be more comfortable with 4, depending on exactly how much culture these cities get. And this is going to be a holy city. It's going to have a lot of culture. It'll have a lot of defense. So we'll see how it goes. Yes, and we're on relatively low difficulty. We are playing on Prince difficulty, which is relatively low because we're still warming back up into the game. So our capital is here, Shadow Dragon. We've been whipping pretty aggressively with our slavery to rush things out, which is why our population is low. But we're going to start backing off the whip pretty soon, I think. We'll see how it goes. And we've got a few other cities up north. Barracks are about to finish in Liviana the First over here, and then we are going to start some production. And I think Shadow Dragon, after the Buddhist missionary, is probably going to start on a barracks if it doesn't already have one, and then start to pump out some units. So, let's skip to the next turn. Okay, barracks are done. Yeah, more settlers, obelisks could all be good. These are excellent suggestions, game. I cannot criticize you for that. However, we need defensive units. We do want to build some war chariots, which are unique units for the Egyptians. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an Axeman or 2 built over here. Production's going to be still a little bit on the slow side. Are we? Ooh, remember? No. Who's working the copper? Oh, right, it's out of range, because you can only work within 2 squares. Do I want to change what I'm working in this tile? This tile is a good tile for making money / science, depending on how you've got your sliders set. But I'm thinking we do want a little bit more production. Oh yeah, we had a scientist working there. And working great people is actually really good, because we do have a great person economy. But yeah, all right, I'm okay with working one scientist here. So because we have the representation government, we get extra stuff. So great scientist normally gives you 3 beakers per turn. With representation, it actually gives us 6 beakers per turn, which is a lot of science at this stage in the game. Also, we could rush this Axeman. We still have a lot of unhappiness built in here. I don't know. What's the point of whips if we don't whip people with it? I think I will wait unless there's an emergency that comes up. Are these barbarians? They are barbarians. How many units do I have sitting in this city? I do have 2, which is great. I'm going to use the healthy one to try to attack the barbarian. And beat it. Excellent. Just beat it. That's good. And down here, we're exploring around. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop on my expansion for now. I think this warrior is actually going to come home and get an extra person sitting in our capital. And this worker, oh, we definitely need to mine the iron. So we'll be able to build some swordmen too. Swordmen have, so axemen have strength of 5, swordmen have strength of 6, plus a 10% boost versus cities. So you might think, we'll just build swordmen, not axemen. But axemen have a bonus against melee units. So you tend to want like a combination. You want these mixed armies that are properly sort of designed. Maybe a spearman in there to defend you against cavalry attacks, for example. So you sort of like build mostly what you want for your attack, but you need to make sure you can counter any potential attackers on the flip side. All right, you hooked up our silk, which is great, and being adjacent to the river should mean that all of our cities now benefit from silk as a happiness resource. In fact, it does, which is great. Yukofin is actually... You are connected. How are you connected? So it's on a river, so we follow the river down here, 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 and then it goes out to sea, and then presumably goes all the way around. So despite the fact that we don't have a road connection to Yukofin, Yukofin is connected to our capital, which is crazy awesome. The other thing I kept meaning to talk about in last week, and we never got around to it, is how trade routes work in this game. So... Oh, over here. That's it, over here. So trade routes are done automatically in Civ 4. Each city can have a certain amount of trade routes, and will automatically trade in a way that generates the most amount of money, if possible. So in our capital here of Shadow Dragon, we are trading with 3 Incan cities, Cusco, Tiwanaku, and Machu Picchu. And that's earning us actually a fair amount of commerce. Not gold, but commerce. And then you can choose where the gold gets applied. Right now we're banking a handful of it, but I think it might be time for us to launch into 100%. Yeah, minus 12 per turn. I mean, that'd be fine. We don't really need to rush aesthetics. I think I'm going to feel more comfortable, because aesthetics is... We're not building any of these things. I'm going to feel more comfortable if we have a bit of a gold nest egg, and then we look at things afterwards. So this worker here... I should probably send it by Yukofin. No, I'm going to improve one of these floodplains, which are already great food sources. I'm going to get probably one more farm on it. And then after that, well, I don't know, we'll build cottages. Depends on what kind of economy we're going for. And we are going specialist economy. But one farm here will help kickstart the growth a lot, and will help us work, say, this Hills Plains tile, which doesn't have any food. So the farmer working here will be able to feed the miner working over there, which is always a really nice little thing to do. All right. Think we're okay. Yeah, Valley Theaters. Oh, that's the other thing I want to address. I already have recorded 8 episodes of a RimWorld Alpha 13 series. Most likely the first episode will go live tomorrow. So there you go. It's coming. That's our archer who just killed the that barbarian. So we're going to give him a promotion here. I think the extra first chance. So archers in this game do not actually have a range attack. Instead, they get first strike capabilities, which are quite cool, in fact. This barbarian here, or this warrior might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm going to pull you back and actually see if I can't get an archer to go sit in the woods here, which will be handy. Buddhism has spread to the Liviana the First. Actually, that's interesting because we were building a missionary for that. Did I... Oh, did it go in auto spread? I think I might have my missionaries to auto spread, which is perfect because that's what I wanted to do. So we built a Buddhist missionary here, and it spread it over there. Shadow Dragon's production rate is pretty crap right now, which is completely understandable. Again, it has a lot of whip unhappiness right now, so I don't think I'm going to rush it right now. So the question remains, do we keep working these extra scientists? And I think if we're not rushing to war and we do want to get the Great Library, then yeah, I do want to work the extra scientist here. Especially, I'm going to pull back. I only have 1 archer in here. An archer plus 1 warrior is not terribly good defense. Actually, it's going to be 2 warriors, which, you know what, that is going to be okay. All right, so I'm going to be fine with having sort of crap production here in our capital for a little bit longer while we get more science. I am going to keep the axemen coming here at a relatively good rate, and then probably go and work some more scientists here as well to accelerate our tech. But we need a little bit more defense, because right now, if Germany decided to declare war, we'd be in big, big trouble. And I waited as I hit like end turn. I was like, and here comes the war declaration. So you fortify in that place, and you stay here in the forest. Oh, that was my warrior. Would my archer have better luck? Oh, my archer's already moved. So yeah, just wait here in the forest. That's going to be fine. The archer might attack us there. And in fact, if he did, it would be quite good for us, because forests give you 50% more defense. depending on how things go, we might be able to get this barbarian city. Now, that might be very viable. Okay, Isabella here is getting crankier and crankier. She doesn't like me too much because of a variety of different things. We actually have open borders with her right now, which is pretty good. But she hates that we are not Jewish, which is her religion. And she's very religious, so she gets very cranky about that. And the Khmer are also not her religion. They are Buddhist, like me. So I'm not going to break my relationship with the Khmer. So I am going to say, no, go away. Go away, Madame Cranky Face. Archer can come over here. Border's growing. We get these border expansions pretty much for free because we are creative, which is great. And yeah, so for now, I'm just going to park a couple of units right outside the Barbarian City, and most likely the Barbarians will keep attacking me in the woods, and I can keep getting some extra XP for free. Now, does the iron factor in? No, because the iron's not adjacent to a river. So the iron very much needs a road to be connected to our network. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm tempted to go and build a road up by Ukofin just for military purposes. We don't need it to actually be connected, but we may want to be able to reinforce a bit more quickly, and I think I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to build a road, actually, ideally through the woods. How we doing? Oh, hey, Christopher Rod. Nice to see ya. Okay. We still need more workers as well, but it's not like we're hurting on it too bad. All right, RX-210 built another one, which is great. Most likely we'll want a granary next, especially if we are going to use the whip, and that's most likely going to happen. Peace deal to Sorry Environment. Oh, yes, because we gave him something. This was our friend, and he asked us for help, and we said yes, and therefore it gives us a 10-turn peace treaty, which is cool. They can still declare war on you afterwards, but there's at least a little bit of time. So Libyan over here is a barbarian city that was founded by barbarians, and is being defended by 3 barbarian archers. But right now it has no culture. It's actually quite a lot easier to take over barbarian cities. They don't always put them in the greatest locations for you, but it is a city that you can take without declaring war. So again, I'm just going to park outside of the city for now, hope that they start to attack me, and I'll get some experience points because it should be okay. Barbarians are not very, strategic. Idlecap, thank you very much for that tip. Watched you on YouTube for a while and really enjoyed your content. Well, thank you so much. Very generous. Cheers. All right, yeah, and I'm just going to park the extra warriors here in my capital, and you're just going to fortify where you are. And there's another worker. I'm going to get another mine going over here, because with the food from this farm's floodplain, we should be able to work some great tiles. Actually, this tile is quite good, because it feeds itself with 2 food, which is just brilliant. Very great tile for us to work. We're actually going to have a lot of production here in RX-10. Well, a lot of early game production, because it's going to be able to work the iron and 1 mine on a plains hill, which is going to be worth a lot of hammers. But then it's sort of going to peter off. It's not really going to get any extra hammers. Well, unless we keep the forest around, and I guess we might. That might be valid. Probably we'll chop the forest next to the river. Most likely, because we're not getting the benefit of the river there. You can see the forest plains next to the river is 1 food, 2 hammers, same as over here, 1 food, 2 hammers. So normally a tile next to a river gets a commerce at the very least, but it doesn't happen if it's forest. So the forest ones are pretty choppable, but we might leave more just for some extra production. In any case, I'm quite happy about getting the extra mine there. I think that's going to be handy. And I am debating getting some extra farming going on. Yeah, see, I can't disagree with that. So you can grow a little bit faster, that's fine, and then you'll go back and get some production. Do I build 1 more farm? And I think the answer is yes, especially if we are doing the specialist economy thing. In fact, we may end up doing more than just 1. We'll see how it goes. Boom, constructed that. Mausoleum of Musclus. We could build. Gives you increased golden age length, which is quite nice here, because there's a lot of ways to generate golden ages with great people is what I meant to say. But I think we're going to hold off on it. I'm still tempted to build the Moai statues here, even though we only are going to be working okay, 7. I thought it was 6, but we are working another tile there. Only 7 tiles, and presumably you could put... So what the Moai statues do is it gives you an extra 1 hammer for every water tile, which makes water tiles go from being to amazingly good. And often you want to build this somewhere that has crazy amounts of water. Like imagine... I don't know, just keep a worker for a second here. We'll change you in a second. Imagine that I had settled city, say, right here, or even, say, right here. I mean, that's a lot of water tiles, so it gets a lot of value. That being said, we may not settle there for a while. Building the moist statues there would take forever, whereas having the extra production in our capital would be great. It is not a world wonder. Every nation can build one, so we don't have to rush. I think I may build one here. Now, do we build it now or not? I don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get an Axeman. And I'm going to queue up a Spearman after that. So we get a few more defensive units in our capital, and I'll feel a lot more secure. And we may use that, you know, to set up more warfare. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a worker out over here. And this warrior can stay parked in the capital. That's right, we can upgrade these guys too. That's the thing you do with all this money that we're banking up here. And I would like to do that very much, actually. And the other warrior over here. Actually, I'm starting to wonder.
Art for art's sake is an empty phrase. Art for the sake of truth. Art for the sake of the good and the beautiful. That is the faith that I am searching for.
So, I don't think we're going to be building anything here. There's some great stuff. If you can build the Parthenon in your Great Person Farm city, it's huge. That's a lot. Well, actually, you don't have to build it there specifically. I just realized it's everywhere in all cities. Faster birth rate, which is really nice, especially for the special economy like us. Statue's use is a good way to troll your opponents because they will suffer additional war wariness. And then the Shwadagan Paya enables all religion civics. We already have the pyramids, which unlocked all the government civics. Unlocking all the religion civics is interesting. There's certainly some stuff you can do there. If you want to go to war, getting theocracy is a really good war civic. But I think we're going to hold off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both these axemen. We're going to go and take that barbarian city, because it should be pretty easy to do. So I'm just going to bring them up there. That only leaves one archer in our capital, but we're about to build another axeman, and if we need to, we can whip. But I'm not going to do it, nay, because in our capital we had like 20 turns of unhappiness left from the whip. Livia's getting a little bit better, but I don't think I need to rush this axe. And it might actually be good to have the cities grow bigger. It's going to be the smaller ones where it's more likely to happen. We'll see. My opponents are still expanding. You are going to keep roading. You're going to road through the forest because then we'll get extra movement speed. You are going to pasture the pigs, which is a huge amount of food. And next turn. So she wants me to convert to Judaism, which I could do. If I agreed, A, it would remove that -4 heathen penalty, or relationship penalty is what I meant to say. And it'll actually start taking up a positive relationship boost because we have the same religion. And on top of that, we get another modifier for saying yes when she asked. But we're not going to do that, so I'm going to say no. Our people will never give up their belief. And Germany has indeed converted over to Confucianism as predicted, which is great because Germany is not going to have as many friends. You know, it's no longer being friends with the Spanish. In fact, Spain is now completely isolated. Note that on our continent, so our continent appears to have 5 civilizations. There's 8 in total in this game, so the other continent has 3. On our continent, hey, Bitestorm with the 28-month resub, thank you very much. And before that, Matthias as well. Sorry, there's no little bloop bloop, so I'm not catching the fact that we were getting resubs. So my apologies there. So the other continent probably has 3 people, and they probably founded Hinduism there. And most likely all of them will become Hindu up until, like, there's not another religion unlock until quite a bit later in the tech tree. So they're going to be really good friends up until maybe someone else found Christianity or Islam or something like that, at which point it'll start to break up that friendship block. That's not great, but things are great on this continent because I have 2 friends, and I have 2 enemies, but the enemies are completely isolated from one another. So this is good. So, Isabella. Axeman, done. Good. I don't think we need any missionaries. War chariots are nice and fast. Immune to first strike means they're really good at killing archers. Well, we need at least one war chariot. I mean, it's a unique unit, so obviously we're going to do that. For now, I'm just going to park this unit in Livia the First, and I'm not upgrading it at this time. So yeah. So what are we doing with this? Again, specialist economy sort of dictates more food. Because specialists don't work tiles, so they don't feed themselves. So that's why more food is really good. There's a lot of food here. I'm going to go for another one. I mean, right now the city's too small for it to matter, but there it is. Olivia the First can overflow a war chariot, but it still has some unhappiness left over, so we're going to wait. This is actually inconveniently placed. One thing, that is in this game that you won't be familiar with if you only played Civ 5 is borders grow because of culture, right? Well, in here, the borders can actually shift over time as a result of culture fights. In fact, you can even have cities flip to you if you can push enough culture into them, which is pretty awesome and very satisfying. I also really like the culture victory mechanic in this. Don't get me wrong, the tourism mechanic is really cool in Civ 5, but I like the culture here. So we're going to fortify you up. And now I think we can just build a road to the pigs, and that will be good and happy. Gauss! Excellent. Welcome to the party, Mr. Gauss, the great scientist. Okay, so things you can do with great scientists. First of all, with all great people, you can start a golden age with them. The first golden age takes one great person. After that, you need 2 great people saved up, and so on and so forth. Next thing, all great people can light bulb a technology. The type of technology they give you for free depends on their type of great person. Finally, or not finally yet, all great people can join your city as a permanent specialist. And here, actually a super specialist. This scientist would give us +1 hammer and +9 beakers. I think it has a base, but normally it would be 6 beakers, but because of representation, it's 9 beakers. That's a lot of extra science and a little bit of extra production that lasts the whole game forever. A very, very powerful pick. And then each great scientist or a great person tends to have some other special thing. So a great scientist can build an academy in your capital, or actually in any of your cities. You can actually end up in academies everywhere. It gives a flat bonus of 4 culture and 50% more science in the city. Now, right now, building an academy would only give me 6 beakers, versus building this one would actually give me 11.25 beakers. The +9 base multiplied by, I guess, our library or something going on there. So we'd actually get more joining as a great scientist. And the thing is, our next great scientist could make an academy. So there's a couple of good options there. I'm not going to light bulb. I'm not going to golden age. It's going to be academy or great scientist. And the great scientist right now gives us more science. The next one, academy, will definitely give us more science because it'll be multiplying our existing great scientist by 50%, not to mention whatever other science we've got. So I'm going to have it join the city, which is awesome. And the extra hammer is actually really good. Great profits, if I recall correctly. I think give you 2 hammers and 5 gold per turn or something crazy like that. Really good people to have join your city. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, and those great scientists, like those great people, permanent specialists, don't take any food either, which is really strong. I'm going to send you up to here to help improve the city. And you're going to go to the deer, my dear, and build over there. And barbarians are moving out a little bit. Worker completed there. Isabella is the worst enemy of Saryavarman. Excellent. And the Incas are the new worst enemy of Isabella. They keep swapping around. That's okay. Shadow Dragon will become unhappy and unhealthy next turn, so that's a good time to whip then. Or, unless we're worried about the whip accruing too much. I'm going to get a granary here because it really helps your growth dramatically. Right, granary's going to take forever right now because we're not generating any hammers, and that's fine. Woo! The Incas declared war on Spain. Lovely. Oh, excellent. Okay, Shadow Dragon. We are going to whip something big here just to drop your population pretty spectacularly. We might build monasteries for the extra science right now. I think that would be pretty good. So let me queue that up ahead and just instantly whip 3 people here. You get 1 point of unhappiness for 10 turns from rushing, no matter how many people get killed. So we just killed off 3 people, which is harder to do. The bigger your city, the slower it grows, so it does get more punishing, which is why eventually you move out of slavery. Right now, it's still really, really handy. So we're just going to do that one, and that's it. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Oh, Chimera also declared war on Isabella. Interesting that's happening in sort of parallel, or we're just getting notices in parallel. So Isabella's going to get her butt kicked. Unfortunately, she's too far away for me to really take advantage of it. It's a little bit scary because it might lead to someone else who's supposed to be my friend running away with the game, which would not make me very happy, but otherwise isn't too bad. I'm going to send another Axeman over that way. We're going to try to take that barbarian city. Some people are willing to trade. I don't know if we can trade anything to them. Oh, actually, yeah, they want some stuff. Isabella still doesn't have the alphabet, but she has nothing to offer me. Well, we're going to trade with one of our buddies here. We're going to trade with one of our buddies. So we've got science worth 400 and 500. Yeah, it's kind of awkward. How much do you like me? What would make this deal work? Have to give you another 160 gold. I think I'm willing to do that. We're actually trading up in tech. This tech is worth more. We're just paying a little bit of money for science, effectively. But I suppose we could do the full trade. And why don't we? Currency and monarchy for a little bit of gold. Excellent. We'll both get stronger. He's got... Actually, he's middle of the road. Oh, I just dropped to the bottom in score, but that's not going to last for very long. I'm going to trade that.
Everything is worth what is purchasable. A multitude of rulers is not a good thing. Let there be one ruler, one king.
So we already had hereditary rule, so that doesn't help us that much, but we are advancing the tech tree. I'm not going to want to trade literature once I've got it, because I don't want anyone else to beat me to my wonder. Now, trading away aesthetics, which is the prereq to literature, is a little bit risky, but I think it's okay. And note, I can't trade anything that I just got right now. I think tech brokering is on, but you can't trade something you got on the very same turn, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer to just do a little bit more effective trading, which is what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to go to the next turn. Ah, he's asking me to declare war alongside him against the Spanish. And I would love to say yes, because saying yes right here gives you a permanent, I don't know if it's permanent, but, you know, a long-term relationship boost, as well as fighting wars together and all kinds of different things like that. But I think I'm going to say no right now. We don't have that many units, and really I would love to jump on Germany, if anything. So, -2, you're forced to help us during wartime. That will go away eventually, I think, I hope.
To be tasted, others to be swallowed.
We need construction if we're going to go and take some big cities. And apparently we're going to build the Great Lighthouse. And we're going to build some more military units over here. Lots of things we want to build over here. Lots and lots. But we're going to build some more military. I'm going to go ahead and not work any specialists at this time. So, I mean, I still want the science. Apparently we're still going to build one here just because of lack of improvements. Yeah, that's fine. And we're still mostly making our stuff into gold because we're going to want to save up for some upgrades. When do we get... Oh, Christianity was founded somewhere. Wow, that's fast. Show me up to Renaissance here. Feudalism gets us the longbow. Right, construction for the catapult. Oh yeah, we still need the catapult, so I guess we still need some science. Well, I'm still gonna rush the Great Library in the capital, and then we'll go back to sciencing harder. Maybe I can probably afford. Yeah, it's not losing that much money. I can afford just spending all my commerce on research right now. So there's gonna be a lot of that flipping back and forth, as opposed to the sort of standard way of doing it is to sort of find a balance. I'm gonna flip back and forth between 100% science, 0% science, using my specialist to science, all those sorts of things. You move quite quickly, so we will also get you up to the barbarian front and see how it goes. And okay, I think we're going to end up building a cottage there. Cottages really become powerful late in the game. And the reason for that, well, it's twofold. One, cottages, when you first build them, they just add like 1 extra commerce to a tile. But if you work them for 10 turns, they grow to the next level. They grow to like, I don't know, village, I think it is, worth 2 gold, or 2 commerce, I should say, on a tile. And so on. I think it's got like 4 steps, I don't remember. But not only that, later on you get techs and civics that +1 hammer from towns. A town is what a cottage grows up to be, for example. And a free speech gives you an extra 2 commerce per town. So you get a lot of this stuff that sort of builds up, and later on, cottages are really good. And we'll switch to that. All right, Isabella hates me. She is demanding that I give her currency. And I'm going to say no, of course, because screw her. Cancel your deals with the Spanish. I will absolutely agree, because we have open borders with Spain right now. And I was waiting for one of these. I will absolutely agree to this. And, oh, he also likes my civics. I wonder which one. What's his preferred civic? It doesn't say it here. But one of my civic choices is his favorite. So I'm getting +3 boost because of that. Because we both have the same civic chosen. It must be slavery. Or organized religion. Perhaps it's organized religion. Because we both have the civic and it's his favorite, we get +3 to there. And, yeah. So that's good.